Grand Rising, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. We are here at the UEOA report, and we are basically today we are going after the banks. Yes, the banks. Grand Rising. One moment. Okay. I'm waiting for some people to jump on. And while they're doing that, we're going to play something so that you can hear yourself.
Of the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations has now recognized 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, the great Maya Angelou summarized the essence of my very existence when she proclaimed, bringing the gifts my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I proudly say that I am a descendant of enslaved people. Slavery existed in this country for some 246
Y'all D-made for my game podcast. Y'all hear me?
years of unpaid slave labor has been estimated to be.
I don't know. Can you hear? I'm playing something right now. I don't know if you can hear.
Y'all can hear? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Each mega bank's involvement.
This going on right now?
Financing
Yes.
slavery. TRUIST Financial Corporation has assets of approximately $532 billion. 5 predecessor institutions engaged in financing slavery.
PNC, Financial Services Corporation, assets of approximately $534 billion. Predecessor loaned $135,000 to a railroad company that used slave labor in 1852. U.S. BANCORP, assets of approximately $582 billion. The predecessor institution made a loan secured by enslaved people. Wells Fargo, assets of approximately $1.71 trillion. Predecessor bank accepted enslaved people as collateral in at least 24 transactions, took temporary possession of enslaved people from default on loans. Conducted business with the Confederacy. Citicorp, assets of approximately $1.72 trillion. Provided of mergers pursuant to a request that we made and acquisitions over a course of 210 years that is lengthy and complex. It didn't give us a detailed report. Staff has asked for more information, hasn't received it to this date. More to be said on that at a later time. Bank of America, assets of approximately $244 trillion. The predecessor bank secured a mortgage with real and personal property. The borrower's property included 13 enslaved people. A predecessor bank agreed to a $10,000 mortgage to U.S. Secretary of State John Forsyth, 40 enslaved people as collateral. JP Morgan Chase, assets of approximately $3.38 trillion. Predecessor bank accepted 13,000 enslaved people as collateral for loans. Came into possession of 1,250 enslaved people from defaults on loans. In Morgan Chase, there has been an apology publicly made and an announcement of $5 million scholarship, which amounts to about $384.61 per enslaved person. These scholarships went to persons in Louisiana. I have a question for you, each of you. The question is this: if you believe your bank has done enough to atone for your involvement with slavery, kindly raise a hand and raise a hand.
God, making it happen since 1889.
Grand Rising, we're back. I think y'all heard that. I stopped sharing. Hold on.
Will you publicly publish
One moment.
atonement plan on or before your next appearance before the committee?
Okay, you heard how these banks have been making money. I'm waiting for okay. Mind Games is back on. Grand Rising Mind Games.
I know this is my fault. I was trying to say I was here at Chase Bank in Atlanta. Here in Atlanta, I'm in front of the Chase Bank. Yeah, how y'all doing?
We're doing good. Everyone is in the house. I don't know what's going on with my camera. My StreamYard is not acting right. But okay, there I go. There I go. The background is not acting right, but we are here with Break the Bank. Do you want to start off with telling us what's going on, Mind Games?
Well, like I said, I'm just doing my research from what I gathered. I listen. A lot of this stuff was new to me. I knew about they was involved with slavery, a lot of major banks. So when I wrote down like all 7 mega U.S. banks profited from slavery, all 7 mega U.S. banks continue to exploit and gentrify Black communities like Chase Bank, Wells Fargo. And I'm up here in front of Chase Bank, and I was trying to see, can I turn my camera? I don't know if you can see. Hold on, let me get out of the car.
Okay.
People looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? But
yes, we're asking everybody to spread the hashtag. Go out there. The hashtag is Break the Bank or Bank Black. Go ahead, Deep Mind Games.
Can you see it the logo back there?
We can see Chase behind you.
Okay, cool. Y'all know I'm here. So yeah, and another thing too, I'm all for it. Like I said, Break the Bank. I think we should get a lot of our people. Well, I'm gonna work in Atlanta to get people on board. Yeah, because this is the perfect time to do this, y'all, because the election time coming. It's like Tuesday, and I'm gonna go out to some people while they stand in line. Matter of fact, if people stand in line right now, I might go to them, let them know what's going on and stuff, because we gotta get our people in mass to come out and support this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in the perfect place. I'm here. I'm in the Black Mecca, so I'm gonna do my part. You know what I'm saying? And most definitely, this is more effective when you talk about reparations for our people, going after the institutions. You know what I'm saying? So exactly. I think this is more effective than just not knocking other people, but I just think this is more. This is work right here. We actually doing work, and it's more effective. That's what I gotta say on that.
Exactly. So and we want to keep this going. What y'all need to understand is that just like Mind Games said, and Mind Games has a YouTube channel, so go follow Mind Games.
Uncut Podcast. Yep.
Uncut Podcast. What is going on is that we see our people arguing. This system has us going back and forth, arguing with each other, arguing with other institutions, arguing with corporations, but these corporations are funded by banks. Slavery was funded by banks. Police are funded by banks. Right. And these, just like you see, and not to bring it up, all this stuff that's going on with all of these companies are funded by banks. Money are coming from the banks. These banks, as you just heard in the beginning, has been making trillions of dollars. So a few of us that we call the empire, we're gathering together, the grassroots, to make a point and to bring attention to who the common enemy is. It's the banks. The banks, redlining. The banks are the one funding the corrupt system that is down on our necks. So down in Africa Town Coalition, Mind Games over here at the UEOA report. And I know I'm straight no chaser with the queen, but we also have Fight to Save Black LA. We also have Billion Godson. We also have NAPP, the New Age Panther Party, who's our military for the micronation. This is just a few of us, and we're hoping to get everyone on board to understand we can march and scream all day, but the power lies in the money, and the power of the money lies in the banks. And they have gathered this money off of our backs since slavery. The Blacks is another group. They demand that the 7 mega banks and their CEOs at the Bank of America, which is Brian Moynihan, Citibank is Jane Fraser, JP Morgan and Chase is Jamie DIMON, PNC is William DEMCHAK, Trust is William Rogers Jr., US BANCORP is Andy CECERE, Wells Fargo is Charles SCHARF. Collectively, all these banks are worth $13 trillion in assets. And this came off of slavery. You heard before, I think it was Wells Fargo that took collateral of us, people who look like us, so that these corporations can make money. And they gathered trillions. And those trillions of dollars is not coming towards us. Those trillions of dollars is, we're not getting the loans that they're giving out. This is what you call the system of white supremacy. It's a system. It's not white people. It's not black people. It's not brown people. Racism is a system, and the system is the system of white supremacy, where it involves participants. And the main participants in this system of white supremacy are the banks. They write the rules, and they write the rules of who and who cannot gather money. They left us out. And as we build on our own, as you've seen, Black Wall Street, Rosewood, all the black towns that was burned down, those people had the power and the ammunition to do it because of the banks. White supremacy is rich because of the banks. We can yell and fuss all day, but we're not getting loans because we're being discriminated against. Now they want us to have the same credit score as white people, Asians, Jews, and all that. But when have we ever got a chance? When we build our credit, they burned it down. So how long are we going to keep going on with this stupid game of white supremacy? And how long are we going to compare ourselves to those who have got a leg up on us because of these banks?
Exactly. And I even had a conversation on my TikTok live with some white conservatives, and they was like, yeah, we agree with y'all getting reparations, but what's funny was they like, yeah, y'all need to go after the banks. And it's funny hearing that from a conservative, but they're like, yeah, y'all should get it. Y'all should actually go after the banks, the institutions, because and I was like, okay, that makes sense, because they like, you would get it faster going through them than going through the government. Because see, a lot of our people don't understand this. It sounds good, and we're not gonna throw shade at anybody. We support anybody, support reparation, but you got to do it the right way. One thing I noticed we're not doing, and when we talk about reparations, we're not talking about, you got to get the Senate, you got to get the House, the Congress involved. You got to get white people to agree to vote on this, along with the black people, like the Black Caucus. You know how they get down. So I think this is more, like I said before, this is more effective going through the banks, because it's going to take a while. You're talking about years and years just to even get the government, to get the Congress to even look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because you see what the Democrats say, they don't even really support it. So yeah, this is it. I think this is going to be the move right here, and we can get everybody on board. Yeah.
Exactly. So we need y'all to go on board, and how you can get on board is to share this hashtag, Break the Bank, Bank Black. You see the description in there? And we're not just out here. I don't involve in marches and stuff, but we have demands. We're getting a code for ourselves. You hear all these popular people with all these big followers saying get on code, but we're creating a code. As you see, all of us are small groups that's creating this empire that you see. And we want to actually do something that is going to be effective. We've been marching and yelling and marching for years, and it's not effective. It's not effective. And this is the demand. The demand that we want from these banks so far is, number one, divest from law enforcement agencies. You cannot keep yelling, say his or her name, they're shooting and killing us, without going to the root of the problem. You can cut all the trees off the leaf and the branches, but the roots of the tree is still going to run deep. Exactly. A root will mess up your house. We keep building our houses, and the root of white supremacy, the tree of white supremacy, they keep cutting off the leaves where everybody is racist. So let's cut these leaves down. Don't say anti-Semitic things. Cut these leaves down. But the root of white supremacy is destroying the foundation of houses that we're building. Our black businesses are being destroyed. When this inflation goes up, the corporations are making money. We're suffering because we're not in the big corporations with them. That means we have to own a big bank. We want you to bank black. There's only so many of the banks that we own now. We used to own the banks. Remember the Freedom Bank? Yep. How many of our banks have sold out or started using the rules of these white supremacist banks? And we don't fit the rule. We don't fit there because we don't have the credit. Our parents in 1956 were just being able to go to integrated schools that were supposed to be better. Who allowed these people to do that? The banks. So they want us to divest. We want them to divest from law enforcement agencies and prosecutors who refuse to hold the law enforcement accountable. 1B, reparations for the blacks affected by the state sanctioned terrorism. The police groups are a terrorist group to us. The FBI has already did a report where white supremacists has infiltrated all law enforcement. You can Google this. I can Google it.
Correct.
If you're not a researcher, you can Google it. Mm-hmm. They want to do cease predatory loans. They got all these check cashing places in our neighborhoods. We are $1 trillion spending people, and they make you think that you're broke when they're taking money from you left and right. You're buying designer labels that's fronted by these banks. You're paying for gas. You're going shopping. You're buying your cars that's being financed, your houses. All of these go right back to the same banks. I don't care how many times they duplicate themselves into little credit unions and all this. They're still the same beast with a different mask on.
Exactly. And one thing I want to say too, I'm gonna talk about Kanye West just a little bit. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know that, JP Morgan, which one of the banks that's involved in this. I'm correct, right? JP Morgan is one of the banks that's involved with slavery. They took his money out, their bank. Let you know the type of power they got. That's the irony of the whole thing. They used to enslave your people, and you come up as a billionaire, a couple billion. They say because you said something they don't like, which is true. They took your money out their banks. And look at all these corporations. Look at how they did this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, that's where the power is. They let you know we don't care about you. I think he had like 100 million or something in there. They didn't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Why? But they did it to despite us as melanated people, as original people. That's a slap in our face when our bodies are laying on the ground every day, and these newspapers and these news stations are making money from your views, so you can see your dead brown and black bodies on the street, and they getting ratings for it. The banks loaned them the money to build them TV stations.
Yep.
They go with the same scenario, and then to slap as a slap in the face, Kanye can't say anything that we're the original Jews because that's anti-Semitic or whatever he said. But they can own the radio stations that pay me and you to say kill a nigger, shoot, kill, do drugs. Do y'all not see that? And then all these companies jumped on the bandwagon to say they didn't even want $100 million of his black dollars to protect a religion, because being anti-Semitic means saying something against a religion. So why me and you can't be a Jew? What makes a Jew? Exactly. What does a Jew look like? Mm-hmm. When most of the Jews I see They have the hat, they twist the hair. If you take off all the symbols of Jew being a Jew, you couldn't tell. But if we cannot take off this black skin, so all the stuff that these banks have done to us, we can't help that. This is not something. If you decide to denounce being a Jew, you can walk away from a religion. You can't walk away from this. So it should be a slap in our face. All these companies, Balenciaga, Adidas, why are we wearing these things? You are making them rich enough to do what you see them doing to Kanye.
Yep. Exactly. And like I said, we got to put pressure on these banks. I think it's gonna work, y'all. My thing is this: if we don't do this, we can't complain about nothing else. Like voting is not gonna get. Now you can get politicians involved, yes. You know what I'm saying? Put pressure on them, but the thing is, we need the community to come together. Like we come together for everything else. Vote blue, no matter who, and all that. We can do the same thing for this. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear no more excuses from our people. You know, because at the end of the day, you don't see any other group. If it was any other group that doing what we trying to do, they'll be on it. The Asians, the Hispanic, the Jews, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got a code of conduct except us. We so divided as a people. We got all these different groups and stuff. We should all come together. But I know we've never been a monolith. I understand that. But I mean, at least we can get enough of us. Like, even if I don't agree with everything you say, like I said, the code is, you know, we know it's reparation, intangibles. Okay, we all agree on that. Nobody knows more than the other person. But this right here, y'all, this is a good move. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, anybody else that's fighting for reparation, we support it. We just going to do it our way.
Exactly. But that's what we're here for. That's what the United Empires are for. That's what we all doing. We're small groups, the empires. We named them empires to come together. We're the black. People don't like the word black. More original. We're our own United Nations. We're building to bring together. That's what this cause is for. Not just break the bank. Right now they're in Africa Town. We've been waiting for them to come on so they can let us know what's going on out there, because right now they're trying to gentrify Africa Town. If you look up Africa Town, basically they're at Leimert Park in California. Leimert Park is where they hold little Africa Town, where all of us come together and sell goods among the melanated black the community. That's their basically small shopping center. So as again, the banks, they predatory, they make sure we are destructive in our neighborhoods, meaning you're listening to all that destructive rap music and you're mimicking it. Your kids are shooting it up. The parents are going to jail. The buildings are becoming dilapidated. There's no good schools, and they want that to happen. That's the tactic. Then that way you don't want, they keep telling you move out the hood. Why? They come in, get the police, make it look like it's so bad, get programs to rebuild the hood, and then these white corporations come in, get the programs from the bank. Me and you don't know what's going over our head, which, you know, we trying to move out. They're moving in the same hood you moved out of. Now the bank consider that worth millions of dollars after they just redlined you when you were there. Why don't we catch on to the game? Stop killing and shooting and killing ourselves. The Jews own the record labels that tell us to do that stuff to ourselves, but yet we see everybody get protection but us. It should be against the law, just like it's against the law to be anti-Semitic, and against Asians, it should be against the law to say the word, the N-word.
Thank
you.
The
Jews should not be making money off the N-word and then yelling, don't be anti-Semitic.
Thank you, sister. Now I was just about to say that we got to treat, when we say the N-word, like I said, we don't need to be saying it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just had this discussion with another brother today, a fellow podcaster, and yeah, we're gonna do an actual podcast on this, and I'm gonna make sure that I have it on here because I want people to hear it. But anyway, yeah, when somebody disrespect us, we should hold them accountable. Like the same thing you said, the same thing with Kanye, the same thing with our brother Kyrie Irving. Look how they're doing Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? No, they suspended him just for posting a movie that's true that Amazon actually got on their app, I guess we like that. The Amazon app. It's a movie that was on there, and I think, is Jeff Bezos a Jew? Jeff Bezos, he's a Jew, I believe. I'm not sure. Somebody said he was. Anyway, if he not, it don't matter. Still, they're gonna crucify Kyrie Irving because he put it on his Twitter because he got a big following. And see how the Jews don't care if you right or wrong. They're gonna make sure that they come after you, and even if they're in the wrong. See, that's how we gotta be. I'm not saying we're in the wrong for something, but we gotta be on code. We gotta protect our people.
When they in the wrong, they take care of themselves.
Yeah, exactly. But today it starts today with us, y'all. We're gonna do it, and for the black people that don't want to rock with us, we gotta. Hey, y'all do your own thing. You know what I'm saying?
Keep getting shot, and keep marching, keep begging, keep watching these people prosecute a black man for saying the truth, when we turn around and them same black people can watch little black kids lay dead on the street. Police can bust in the house and shoot black people while they're asleep. And then nobody in this mad America can see something is wrong with this picture.
Exactly. And another thing I talked about this in my podcast last week. I'm putting together this plan for us to police our own communities all across the country. It's simple. I'll talk about it now. So y'all heard of, you have your street patrols, you patrol your community and stuff like that. So what you do, say you live in a big subdivision, mostly black people, everybody should have a street captain on their street. And what you do, you report once a week. If any kind of activity going on that's not right, you report, and plus you build a relationship with the black police officers, especially the ones who grew up in their area. Build a relationship with them. Let them know, look, this is what we do. We policing our own community, but if it's something that we can't do, we will call y'all to come in. You know what I'm saying? So we can do things the right way. Some of the black police officers, you know what I'm saying? And I talked to some cops, and they like, yeah, I'm cool with it. So I'm trying to work on it here in Atlanta, and I think that'll work. Then we got to worry about it. Like if some cops come in our community, and if something looks strange, we call those cops, the black cops. That's cool with us. It's on code. Yeah.
Well, that can work to a certain extent, but that's what we here for the empire. That's what me, you, and Pablo we're working on to gather our own military, and that's what it's going to be for. We working on the uniform, the badges and stuff with all our coalition, because we're taking it back to when the Black Panthers used to patrol our streets before the major corporations was able to make the Black Panthers out of the criminal while still in their programs and letting white society benefit from it. Wick.
Exactly. You got not cut you off. What's the other group too? What is it? New Era Detroit. What is that?
Yeah, New Era Detroit.
And they're doing some of the same thing. That's one here in Atlanta too. And I'm about to get with them brothers. You know what I'm saying? I was on the Instagram.
Yes, we're trying to build it. That's what this is for. Let me take it off. That's what the empire is for. So we can build our own military / police, so that we can start having young people. See, right now they don't have nothing to sign up for. America has made the Black Panthers look like they're the enemy, so nobody wants to really be a Black Panther because they're scared they're going to get shot. Do you see the subconscious thing that they put in the back of your head? So the only thing they advertised, the Jews that own the radio stations and stuff, the music we made used to tell our story. Now the music that they have us making, that they pay us to produce, is saying kill and shoot. So our young people don't have nothing to sign up for. Then when they do sign up for the police, it's kind of like you start acting like the company you keep. After a while, when you're surrounded by this white supremacist mentality, you start thinking that you are doing right in that blue uniform. And like Mind Game said, we need you cops out there broadcasting this right now. We need cops who are for us to go ahead and start signing up with us, to say that when you put on that blue uniform, that you are B1, original one, whatever, us, what's going on. Stop. I worked corporate for a long time, TV stations and everything, medical center. I've been around it all. I just left the prison. I'm telling you, when you get caught up in that lifestyle and you going to work every day, you forget the fight. You forget you're at war. You start putting on survival mode. I got to pay my rent that the banks own. I got to pay my light bill that the banks own. I got to pay my cable that the banks own. It's not the cable company. The cable company owns but it all traces down to the same white families who own the banks, who own these banks since slavery.
Yep. That's amazing. I financial car through the bank, financial house through the bank, everything through the bank.
So we need to be signing up. This is why your donations is needed. This is why when you start donating, stop giving your money to people who's just going to entertain you, and start giving your money to people who are trying to build generational wealth or generational safe places for your children, your grandchildren. We cannot keep fighting the same way over and over and over again. Einstein said to keep doing something over and over and over and over and over again and expecting a change is called insanity.
Yep,
they don't do nothing. They do the same tactics over and over again to us because it works, because we won't catch on that it's being done to us over and over again. Like I told them, I had a young lady that said, well, I know that it's racism, but I haven't experienced it. And that blew me, because that's the problem. They make you experience racism without making you experience racism. I said, you experience racism every day, honey. You just don't know it. And that's the problem with our people. When we get those good jobs and money, we get comfortable. That's why you don't have these stars buying islands like we trying to buy, or buying towns to bring you to. They donate into the same institutions that support the same bull that these cops and stuff support. These institutions has not been helping us. When you donate your money, is it stopping us from being shot and killed? When you donate your money, how long have you been donating your money to different people and organizations, and they're not in the streets? You can't even see them out in the streets with you.
Exactly.
So I don't know if Pablo them coming on. I want to play this one thing for you. I'm gonna play it on my phone, and I want y'all to, Can you text him? Yeah.
Well, I'm actually on my phone. I'm not on.
Okay. Let me text him. Go ahead and say what you gonna say while I text him.
Yeah, but I was saying, like, okay, black people, we've been doing. Okay, we got civil rights in the 60s. I must say 64, I believe. And just think about what I'm saying. What have we got since then? I mean, we've been marching, protesting, praying, doing the same thing, hoping and wishing, but we never demand anything. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all don't even know. A lot of y'all just found out about Black Wall Street, Oscarville, Georgia, where I'm at, with Lake Lanier Island. That was a black town. Now, I will say some of the ancestors, well, some of the relatives of those black people that got their town taken away from them, it was a thriving town, schools, churches, all that. They had farmland and all that. The government took that. And that's another thing, too, we're going to go after this. Like, all that land that got taken, and the banks own that, too. You know what I'm saying? So we don't even touch on that. Think about Black Wall Street. The insurance haven't even paid out the family. It's only like 3 of them still left for the children. You know what I'm saying? Just waiting for them to die out and stuff. So, yeah, you got that.
But look, what you're saying about that too, there is another way. Me and my husband watched a film, and I'm gonna play it later, of how it's called hereditary owning the land. A long time ago, when our people bought land from slavery and they owned it, it's been passed down from generation to generation. These families been living on it for years. Well, if one family member who doesn't know anything decides to sell, it forces all the families to sell. So they have been doing land grabbing. This family just got their land grab, 490 acres. I'm going to repeat this. Say it with me. 490 acres was taken from this family so this white company can cut down the trees and make money off of it for labor.
That's a lot.
And it's legally, and it's a man, he goes around and looks for this particular stuff. So he'll call the black family or that family. It mostly affects black families. Look it up. It's called heritage claims or something. And they'll go with a black family that might not have ever stayed on the land and get them to sell, and then it'll force the rest of the family. They make laws so that they can take from us.
So let me ask you a question. So is that part of eminent domain or no?
No, it's a whole nother ball game. It's another ball game where if these people go out and then they searching for land that our people, because my husband's family, when his great grandfather saved for slavery, see, land wasn't worth nothing back then. You can have a lot of land. He had 360 acres. But if these people back then didn't get the proper paperwork and their family been living on the land for years, because it's just basically passed on, kind of like they know it. These people been paying their taxes and everything, but they always come up with the paperwork. It's some type of paperwork they needed to have to make it officially theirs, and the families don't know it. So these white people will come in and ask one of the family who probably never stayed on the land. They'll find a family member in that heritage, just like you trace your bloodline. They'll get a bloodline family member who knows nothing about that family or not, and get them to sell it. And then when they sell it, then next thing you know, they taking the land. Here we go. Breaking. Grand Rising Billion.
Grand Rising, how y'all doing?
Hey, give us an update. Yeah, we've been keeping them busy. Go ahead and give us an update and tell us what's going on with Break the Bank.
All right, loved ones, we're out here in LA in front of Chase Bank. We have a campaign. It's called Break the Bank. It's actually the 4th campaign we've initiated against the mega banks. First one being in 2011, then 2015, and 2018. But this time we see over a decade of devastation is caused in our community in LA. 60% of the Black population has been driven out of this city in the last 20 years, and the banks have been a major factor in that. So we're saying, one, for them to cease the means by which they've been driving Black people out of our communities, both these predatory loans for residences, predatory loans for businesses, but also just the different rates they charge. They pay a low rate on the money you save here, but then they charge you on a high, they charge you a high rate of money anytime you take out a loan or a line of credit. So all of these different factors combined together has resulted in them taking billions of dollars out of the Black community. In 2020, they said, okay, in response to George Floyd, we're going to reinvest billions back into your community. And over the past 2 years, we found this has just been nothing but another one of the many games they play. One, they give this money to the same small Black boule circles that, you know, get a little bit richer, and they trickle down crumbs to everybody else. But by the time it gets to the people that need it the most, these billions of dollars have amounted to nothing. So we know if they have billions of dollars to invest in our community, we can solve this homeless issue. We can solve Black businesses going out of business. We can solve Black people robbing each other. We can solve a lot of the ills that are happening in our communities if these billions of dollars are directed and put into the right hands. So that's why we're out here. That's why we are honored to unite with the United Empires of Al-Kibalan and try to pull more people that are truly for the people that are still connected to the people that are not just trying to poverty pimp our issues. So again, we are out here. I think this is like our 10th week. We also have an action in front of Wells Fargo every Saturday. Initially, we just saw the 4 banks being chased: Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Citibank. But the congressional hearings in September revealed there's actually 7 mega banks that have been engaged in these same practices, from profiting off the enslavement of our ancestors to the nonstop exploitation of our people ever since. So that's why we're here.
I appreciate that. Can you shout out all the organizations there with you right now?
Okay, so the Africatown Coalition is the primary organization standing here. We also have the New Age Panther Party. We have a representative from New Era Los Angeles. So we're just out here, you know. We also got Black Men Bill standing with us. So this is something we expect to continue to grow weekly, and just bring it to our people's attention more. You know, too often when we're out protesting and making demands, where we're protesting the wrong targets and we're demanding the wrong things. Again, if corporations like this, trillion-dollar corporations, that's not hundreds, that's not thousands, that's not millions, that's not billions, that's $1 trillion. So again, when they say they're putting billions of dollars into our community, we know, again, if these funds are directed correctly, we can solve a lot of our issues.
Well, I thank you for that, Billion Guys, son, because they can also, there's a lot of abandoned towns that they can give us where we can start. They can buy and give us where we can have start over, where we can help our people. Not saying just start over because we don't want to be driven out our towns, but we want to keep pushing this issue. So we'll be with y'all every weekend. We spreading this word, hashtag break the bank.
Break the bank.
Yes, break the bank. So we want all the followers to push out this hashtag, and we'll get with you, y'all. We have in the description there are demands, everything that Billion Guy's son said, and we just need y'all to pass this on. We need y'all to educate yourself. Look at the problem. The problem is the banks, and let's demand more. Stop running out here fussing in front of Congress and all. They are paid by the banks.
That's right. Exactly. And I appreciate y'all, brother. What y'all brothers doing out there. Appreciate that, man.
Yes, we appreciate y'all. Is there anything else that y'all want to let us know before we end? Or we don't want to hold you up.
Well, we know Tuesday they tell everybody to go vote, 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 vote. And again, the question we always ask is, who are we voting for and what are we voting for?
Exactly. Thank you.
And if it's not pushed in the direction of reparations, we got to stop wasting time.
Exactly.
And one of the things that I want to say too, you know what I'm saying?
Grand Rising, Kevin, introduce yourself. Grand Rising.
What's up? What's up? My name is Kevin Ward Price. I'm with the African Town Coalition. And hey, it's nice to see y'all here. You know, this has been a very, it's been an interesting action right here. But one thing that I just want to say is that we need a national movement of young people, okay, to get involved in the politics. Because when we say, who are we going to vote for? We want to be able to vote for somebody that's been in the community, that knows the issues, that know the streets, that know the community intimately, and that can represent us so that we don't have to be worried about whether this is going to go sideways or not. You know what I'm saying? So we've had enough corruption. I want to call out young people to get involved in the political process. You have to develop your own parties. And let's get ready for the next 4 years, and let's put some new people out there so that we don't have to come back and say, oh, well, you know, we ain't really got nobody to vote for. You know what I'm saying? We'll have somebody to vote for. So let's do that, y'all. Thank you very much. Anybody want to say something right here? We are national right here on this platform. This is our first time here, and this is a beautiful thing.
I like what he said about young people. We need more young people. As one of the young people, please, young people, join us. It's a lot of work, but it's fun at the same time. So if you care about your community and you want to get involved, we need more young people. Thank you.
We thank you.
Another thing I want to say too is that Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Deutsche Bank, they all gotta go because they had a huge part in slave ships. They shorted slave ships by our ancestors here. Also, they kept slavery going in America as well too. So we encouraging our people to transfer their money out these white-owned slave institutions, these Jewish slave institutions, and transfer it to a black-owned bank, which is One United Bank, or a federal bank, any black institution or credit union that's in your city, that's in your state.
Well said, Raymond.
How you doing, man? I wanted to get you
the black DIVEST.
How y'all
break the bank.
Y'all banking yet?
Stand up, young folks out there, old folks out there.
Okay, so when y'all start
stand as one coalition, all black revolutionary Pan-African movements out there. Break the bank, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Reporting live from the Crenshaw District, Los Angeles. Name is Kepa Black Cartel. You know what I'm saying? LA chapter of the new era.
Well, we thank you. We thank you. We thank all you kings out there for representing, for making this movement, for bringing it to our attention. And we are going to start trying to, we need to, everybody that used to vote or that's into voting, we, like they said, we need to start talking to the young people in our individual communities and teaching them how to run. Let the people that, instead of them being the biggest drug dealer in their neighborhood, let them be the biggest politician, because it takes us to get in them seats to make changes. Them seats is not going to change itself, and the people that sit in them seats ain't going to change. It's going to take us to get them seats.
And you know, I'm just to kind of dovetail Dr. Claude Anderson. You know, it's like politically, you know, we are seriously behind the curve right now. So we really need to get that going, because we can't deal with the economics until we really lock down that political structure. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So with
You're
that,
right,
we have some people coming out right here. Thank you very
Okay.
much for bringing us on the show. And we definitely look forward to seeing y'all on Friday.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
no
you.
doubt.
Y'all be safe out there, Kings.
Let me say, peace,
All
brother.
righty.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
All right. I guess
Okay. Well, y'all got it straight from the horse's mouth.
Exactly. See,
So
they actually
what are
put
we gonna do?
And my thing is, they put in the work. I know we about to wind down now, but that you see brothers working, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to just go out and do that. They could be doing anything right now. You know what I'm saying? But they out there making a difference, getting the information out to our people, let them know this is needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and going back to the politician part, but no political part. You know, I'm heavy in politics here. I work with local government in Atlanta, East Point, Georgia, and I help get people elected to help my nonprofit to do things we do for our community. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to get our people in office. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, start with the youth. You know what I'm saying? Teach them the importance of getting them seats, making a difference in their community. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't. A lot of our people don't understand politics. Now it's the midterms, right? Now you ask any of those people coming out out of those voting booths, what is your city councilman name? What is, even matter of fact, what's your mayor name? Half of them don't even know it. But
Or
they
your
only come.
governor.
Exactly. And it's sad. 'Cause I ask people that, and they looking at me like I don't know. I said, so when you go vote, okay, it's a certain person say like here they vote for Stacey Abrams Warnock, right? But what about the other people's on the ballot? Do you know who they are? No, you just vote blue, no matter who. And this person probably be somebody who might be not be in your best interest. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
and that's so sad, man. Because like I said, I've been at these political parties, and I see. Let me tell y'all something, black people. A lot of these black politicians are not for you. They know you're gonna vote for them because they're black, but they don't have no kind of black interest. They don't have no kind of black agenda. They just want your vote. And a lot of us, and I blame our parents and grandparents, they're the same way. So yeah. So we got to educate the youth on how politics work. And that's it. I'm done.
And we got to educate them on how the government works first, because I was in a group and they didn't even know what the 3 branches of the government was or their operation and what they do for you. Then that way you will understand when they mean that the Republicans or so-called took over the house, over the Senate, and the Democrats took over the House, but they're the same dragon.
Gotcha. Exactly.
And then it was supposed to be made for checks and balances, but because they were infiltrated, you're not getting nothing. The Senate owns the power, so no matter how much Maxine Waters and all them push stuff through the House, the Senate has the final say so. And ain't no president doing no executive order. If we just had an order of protection, then we would be able to walk around and do stuff. But they don't want to hold themselves accountable. They want us to be held accountable for every move we make. But they're not held accountable. How can we live in a country, and how could you keep voting and you don't know? So the best thing is, let's go after these banks and let's raise up politicians that represent us. At the same time, create our own micronations. All of us, our little small grassroots, need to get together. We need to follow people, YouTubers, people who are out doing stuff, not people that are getting your money just to entertain you. We've been entertained enough. That's how they tricked us. That's why we are being tricked by the companies that own our music and our shows. Let's look at it for what it is. I'm just going to play this one thing. Pablo said he was going to jump on, but after I play this, if he doesn't jump on, we'll just wrap this up. We got we'll be trying to do this each week. We'll be following Mind Games, like I said, on his channels. If he's political, we'll be back and forth. Each one teach one. All of us have something different to offer, and that's what we need to understand. Respect who has something to offer you that is going to help you, not somebody that's just going to laugh and joke with you.
And listen, before you play, I'm about to get off. I gotta get off. But listen, y'all follow me, Mind Games Uncut Podcast on YouTube and on Spotify, Mind Games Uncut Radio. And like I said, y'all, we're gonna be doing the work, but we need everybody on board. And like I said, we're not gonna be up here trying to sell, pipe dream. We're just gonna give it to you straight with no chaser.
Hey,
All
that's
right,
what I'm
sister.
talking about. Thank
Okay.
you,
I
Mind
talk.
Games. We appreciate your time and everything you out there doing. Keep it up, King.
Okay, sister. Peace.
Peace. Okay, I'm gonna play this before we wrap it up, and I got this from my queen, Private Bentley's page, and we're gonna play this. Let's see. Hold on. Let me take my earpiece out. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. And y'all, when you go to the website, we have been testing the website because we wanted to put a landing page for the breaking news. We just didn't fix it. So you got to scroll all the way down to the bottom to actually enter the website, because we were combining our micronation with our newspaper. Our newspaper for the micronation is now called the UEOA Report, as you can see it right there. Right there up in the corner. And that is the voice. Our paper is the voice for us, by us, news for us. And this is news for us.
From Migos died, I just wanted to go ahead and make a video about something I have a unique experience in. So I directed a bunch of rappers, people like Gucci Mane, Snoop Dogg, Lil Yachty, the list goes on and on and on, okay? I learned a lot of things, and I have left the industry largely over my political beliefs, but there is something I want to impart to people to hopefully, make some sort of change happen. So I have a challenge to rappers, and I know some of you still follow me. I know a bunch of the celebrity blogs still follow me from trying to get news from music videos and things like that. So here's the truth. The truth is this: a bunch of young black male rappers keep dying. You know who's not dying? Record executives. The record executives that push for them to continue to make songs and create a culture that is obsessed with death, drugs, and sex. Period. The industry is obsessed with it, but those record executives, they're not dying because they don't push this culture on their own people, but they're encouraging you to push it on yours, and they're paying you handsomely to do it. The reality is, I know a lot of you. A lot of you are good people. You're family guys. You're not the image that you put out there to the world. Why? Why don't you be the example? Stand up. I challenge you. Be the example. Make music about the culture you want to see. Don't just get online today and talk about how, whenever a rapper makes it, his own people take him down. Don't just make those videos. Don't be sad. Don't rest in peace. None of that stuff. Be the change you want to see. Inspire it in your community. Reach out to other rappers and say, we have to stop. We're being used. You've been used for a long time. They create this paradigm to make you believe that you're so important and your celebrity status is worth so much, but in truth, you're a pawn in their game, and you always have been. The government has wanted to hold down communities of people in different ways through different methods for a very long time. Their method in the black community has been to use entertainment to create a culture obsessed with death, drugs, sex, and money, so that they could create a false paradigm of what happiness and what success really was. And in doing so, they created a world that also made people more dependent on government, and as a result, gave themselves more power. The record executives that push you to do this, to go and continue to profit off the backs of your work, they're in cahoots with the elite. They're in cahoots with the government. They want you to think you're important, but in truth, you're just doing their dirty work for them. So stop. They've empowered you in ways that are real. You have an audience. You have platforms. You have the ability to make change. So go against the grain together. They're more afraid of you all together standing up and creating a new culture that's built around family, faith, freedom, doing the right thing, valuing life, than they are of anything else. So I challenge you. Use your power to do the right things. If you continue to do the same thing you've done, more rappers like this are going to die. How many have to die before you change the culture? And let me tell you something else. There's a reason the record labels pay us more to do rap videos. They don't tell you that, do they? Do they tell you that they pay us more to do your videos? Because they do. They do it because they know it's more dangerous. They do it because they know it's more difficult, and they do it because, frankly, there's a lot of money laundering involved. Those labels wash a bunch of money through. We don't do it, but we know the labels are doing it 100%. Okay, they're then taking the money off the top end, and you see on your royalty check, oh, they spent $150,000 on this video. Did they? because we didn't see 150,000. Okay, so where did the money go? And to who? Their friend's company? A lot of times that's the case. Same thing with insurance companies. They charge us more to insure your videos. And it's because they know the culture that's been created. They know that the only possibility of a music video being shot up is on a rap video. And that's the truth. So change the culture. You have the power.
I just wanted to play that, but we have Pablo. He jumped on. So before we go, we're going to let Pablo speak. Go ahead, Pablo. We're on. I was just playing something when we were talking about the banks. And again, I want to say from what this gentleman said, the government, the elites, all of those are the banks. Stop letting them divide themselves with different names. When you hear the elites, when you hear everybody, look at who had the power to strip Kanye. That is the banks. Go ahead, Pablo. Grand Rising.
Yeah, GR. So we basically are headed to a different location to go live and get some literature going over there. So we're on the east side, so we're gonna get the message over here on this side of town as well too. So we're gonna be pulling up there in a couple of lights to go hit this area over here. So we're gonna hit the Chase over here. So since Chase has chased so many of us out of our homes, that's why they're gonna get the business today. So we out here, I don't know if anybody if in other states out here they're even taking churches away from black people. So it's not just houses and locking us out of jobs. They're taking churches away from people. Then we have things like Wells Fargo. If you've heard of the scam they did where they basically hired a bunch of non-black people, but then what they did was held some fake interviews and had black people coming in for the interviews as if they were going to get positions that they knew were already filled by non-black people. So this is this is basically what we're dealing with. And when we say break the bank, hashtag bank black, just going in and opening up a bank account at a black-owned bank is already a form of activism. So every small step you take means a lot in the push forward. I know for most of us, we don't think the needle gets pushed or moved unless somebody with a big name is involved, but every single boot on the ground matters.
Exactly. So you could do something simple as in open up an account with a black bank. If you don't, you got one United Bank. You can do it online. We need to stop thinking if we march or give someone who's famous all our money, that is going to change things for us. We're going towards the head of this seven-headed dragon. All y'all Bible toters and Bible thumpers, what did they say in Revelation? The seven-headed beast. This is the bank.
When it says you won't have the ability to buy, sell, or anything, what do you think that means? That means the banking system.
Yeah, you know it's a problem when a bank kicks out a black person's money, 100 million, and they don't want it because they're protecting the interests of a religion, but not you as a human. They don't care if you're homeless. They don't care if we're bleeding in the street. They don't care about nothing about us. We got to care about us. Break the banks. That's where the money from slavery is at. That's where everything is being held at for reparations. They have the right. They are $17 trillion. We are $1 trillion spending industry, not the white people, not the Chinese, not that's because we're spending with them and the banks are calculating their wealth while it's depleting us. Is there anything else you want to say, Pablo? We've been on here, so I just want to give you a chance.
I mean, let me show y'all. We over in Watts right now. So this is the east side of basically a black LA. This is our east side. So you about turn it around.
Okay.
So as you can see, this is the they're all in our community. So the people that are causing people like the homeless black man across the street over there to be homeless, are doing it from right here in front of our faces. If that's not a middle finger, I don't know what it is. And the Kanye incident, the Kyrie Irving incident, lets you know that these people they're basically flexing their muscle right in our face. Sad part is a
They
lot of
basically
us
putting their private parts in all our faces.
Oh yeah, they just basically waving it around because and they know that people in higher positions. I mean, this is like being in the girl in the porno that everybody runs the train on. That's is how they treating us. So they know that higher ups are not going to do anything because they don't want to risk the gravy train. They don't want to be a regular Negro again. So that's why when we tell you things like, I'll use Kanye West. Kanye West literally thought he got out of being black. He thought he got to get out of being black card, and he thought he was really a part of the system and society. He thought
you're freezing up. You're freezing up. I'm gonna say this part. Yeah, he thought he got out of it. That lets you know that I don't care how much money you have as a black man. That money is not power. Go ahead. You were freezing up, Pablo.
Yeah, Pablo. Kanye thought that he had embedded himself. He thought that he had embedded himself so deep in their system that there was no way they would be able to uproot him and do what they're doing to him right now. So when he made those disparaging remarks toward his own people, of course he did that because he no longer considered himself a black man. And so when he got the Negro wake-up call, he had to scramble and go dust off his ghetto pass and see if he could come back. So the Kanye things let you know that the reasons that we're about to go do. See, let me show y'all where we at. So we have to watch Chase Bank. So we're about to go out here and do what we need to do. And the Kanye thing should let you know you can go as far as you need to in their system, and you're still going to be a Negro. You're not going to ever reach this level or plateau where you're going to be considered non-black and get out of what we're dealing with. So the problem with us, we've been running, we've been retreating, we've been making up excuses and reasons for too long, and we're to the point, they've forced us to the point to where we don't have anywhere else to run. We can't retreat anymore. We can't make any more excuses. Stand now or just go away. So that's the point we're at now. If we don't stand right now, they don't mind all of us being homeless. They really don't. And when you look at us here in LA, we have dwindled down to 8% of the population, and we have at one point it reached a 64% homelessness rate. And that tells you right there they have absolutely zero qualms about all of us being out here on the street. So that's why I don't understand the mindset of people, especially black men, who won't get involved, because it's like pulling teeth to get black men involved. They so comfortable, and maybe they don't understand that if it's being done to Kanye, it can be done to you.
I think Kanye had the Negro wake up call for the world to see.
Oh yeah,
because it shows you stop trying to get money. Y'all keep saying get money. We need to get money to buy towns. We need to get money to buy islands. We need to get money to make sure we can get solar generators. We need to be able to survive. We don't need to be walking around with master chain on and saying my chains are shinier than yours. And I mean red bottoms, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Balenciaga, or whatever those other non-black people names are that you keep putting on you. You work all day just so you could spin it and then go in front of your other people to say, this is what validates me as a human because your skin is not good enough.
I mean,
we need the people to be joining us.
How many years the bag and look quick they took the bag. So right there, basing your life on this other so-called bag. We always level our down. It's all good. We're good at the bag right now. We're good at the bag. Recently murder takeoff right now. That bag did not save. That bag did not save Takeoff from dying the way he rapped about what he rapped about. That the bag didn't save him from that mentality and that mindset. A gun shouldn't have even been drawn in the Takeoff situation. So I mean,
Yeah, I
you see
think
two. Yeah, you see two different reasons why we need to stop doing what we've been doing for the past going on 4 to 5 generations now.
exactly. Take off his money, his fame did not stop him from dying in the street like Mike Brown and Tamar Rice and everyone else. His body laid in the streets. They displayed it for likes and ratings, and he was drug off and he getting ready to be put in the ground just like you. He can't take none of that with him. He didn't do much for his people but give us entertainment. They only want us to have entertainers, not leaders. And a lot of our
Look
want to
at
be
this part right
entertainers.
here about Chase in the back. So even though Kanye West didn't suffer the same fate as Takeoff, in both cases, what you're going to see, especially in Kanye West, well, I'll say both cases, all that money, and I'm calling it money, not wealth. I'm calling it money for a reason. All that money they accumulated is going to be drip fed right back into the white hands that gave it to them.
Exactly. And then there are insurance policies, just like Black Mama, someone said on here that they get insurance policies. That's something that business, if you know about business and you go on in partnership with someone. Oh, I like it. If you go in partnership with someone, they can get a business, a life insurance on you just in case, because you're part of the business. If something happened, what they're going to do. So these record labels know there's 1 in a million Black people they can pick. Hey, you won the lottery. Come on with us and make money. We're just like the cherries on the tree that they pick off because we're just doing it.
And because we worship their money. You know what it reminds you of? It reminds you of that scene in Shaka Zulu when the white man showed Shaka all the white trinkets, the guns, the glory, the guns and the butter. So they showed him the guns and the butter and put the hair dye on his hair. That's literally what this reminds you of.
Exactly. We gotta wake up. Right now, I'm insulted when I see how they're doing the other guy, the basketball player, and how
Kyrie
they're doing
Irving.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving, and how they're doing Yee. But nobody don't understand this is the same thing they did to Colin Kaepernick. But y'all wasn't jumping on. Y'all were just saying take a knee. The banks finance these people. The NFL was a nonprofit. I don't even know if they're still a nonprofit. They tell you and your kids cannot get paid if they play sports as in with a college, but the coaches get paid millions off of your Black children's back. And who's financing this? The banks. Break the bank. I'm gonna let you go. Is it some people out there, or y'all just going to different places? Okay, that's right. We are trying to get our cubs in too. We got places for our children to go, languages to learn. We want to learn Swahili. We're putting this together as an empire. They're going out to hand out flyers to everyone using Chase because we do it because it's kind of like muscle memory. We don't want to learn nothing else, and it's just easy to just go to these places, which I have some bank accounts and I got to change, but we still have a Black bank.
Yeah, so we're pulling up to the so, and this is one of the things right here with gentrification. So where we're at right now, for those of you who don't know the LA makeup, let me turn the camera on. So you can see we're at Chase right now. So if I turn this direction, what you're gonna see down here is the 103rd Street train station. So basically when you go further down this direction, you're gonna cross the train tracks and hit Alameda. So what that used to be was go give him one of these. Go give him one. So what that means to us is this was the mark right here. So across this train track back before the 65 riot, that's where the spook hunters would come over to terrorize the Black community. So if you went past that train track down there, the spook hunter gang would get their hands on you. And a lot of the gangs we know today were born from that, like the deputy gangs and stuff like that. So this was basically a historic train track right here. So you have a lot of Black institutions like the Jordan's Cafe and all these things right here. So the spook hunters were originally why a lot of the neighborhoods and gangs were formed to defend us from them coming across those traps.
And so now,
so you look around now, you can really see there's not a lot of black people out here anymore. So you're turning around, so you see.
And black people, we need to understand this is happening to us all over. We keep saying, oh, they're fixing up the neighborhood. That's what we say. But no, they're kicking us out the neighborhood. It's called gentrification. And when you turn around, you can't afford the rent that's already high.
Oh yeah, so here's the thing. Here's one thing, and you can get this information from Coalition. They have what's called market value. So when gentrifiers move into a neighborhood and they put their market value, that's code talk for above Negro income. Keep us out of it.
Exactly. They buy it for a low income that me and you can buy. We can buy these things if we came together. They buy it at a low price because they say it's the ghetto. Y'all keep calling the places that you lay your head the ghetto. You act like it's the ghetto, and they come in there and they buy it, and then then next thing you know, they kick you out and they raise the prices, and now the ghetto is the white suburbs. Do you not get the game? Soon there's no other place for you to go but the death and to prison. That's where they're pushing you to, or working every day to keep up the illusion that there's nothing wrong with black people. Racism is not bothering us. We all could be racist. And then you'll be working 2 and 3 and 4 jobs trying to live the same way that your white counterparts live. They don't have it hard like us. The ones that have it hard, they call them poor white trash. But if they clean themselves up and go in there, they would get an opportunity you won't get. Let's face the reality. We see Britt Farr stole all this Medicaid money, all this welfare money to build his little girl a stadium. Don't matter if all them black people that needed it, they call us the welfare kings and queens. But I told you, welfare is something you get from the government. So it was okay for him to get welfare money. You don't hear none of that story. Nobody is canceling him. Nobody is canceling Britt Farr. Nobody hears nothing. But we hear about Yee and Kyrie Irving. We don't hear nothing about the white people that's doing worse, right? Nobody is canceling them. Nobody is walking away from his stuff. So what are we going to do? Hashtag break the banks. I think Pablo disconnected. I was holding on so he can just give you an update. And yes, I have Pride of Bentley. Yes, in the description, we do have a list of demands that we're wanting these banks to do. And what we would like is if you go look in the description and I can email it to you, take those demands down, add your own demands to it. Let's get a national demand list and start sending it to these banks every damn week with hashtag break the bank. If you still bank at these places, every one of your slips that you fill out, just go in there with your slip and on the top of it, put hashtag break the bank. Let them fear like we fear when we see the police behind us while we're driving. They don't feel that way. Let them feel how we feel when we see a black body on the ground and we can picture that might be us while they protect each other off of a little name calling. You don't see the effects. They say being anti-Semitic is illegal, but nobody is killing Jews. Nobody is shooting them up like we're being shot up. They don't have to worry about the police. They're not worried about poverty. Me and you working every day, and out of the taxes that come out of our check, they're getting a reparations check. And me and you keep yelling, hands up, don't shoot. Say his or her name. Don't kill us. Let's go vote. That's the same BS that they got in our mouths. It's time to change the plate. It's time to change our minds. It's time to change what we're fighting for. Let's demand them to break the bank, break us off something. We need towns, we need land, we need different lending. We need it all because we have never been compensated. But people that came after we built, our grandparents built this land, are making money off of the backs of our parents, grandparents, and now our children. Our children are becoming rappers. pushing out these songs. I heard a song that said, I want to kill my mom. I want to kill my dad. And I'm like, but we can say that. But you can't say nothing about a Jew. You can't say nothing about an Asian. But we can say, we can have a little black boy up there saying, I want to kill my mom. They already told us back then, when we shoot up a Negro, shoot this and shoot that. So now they got our people in the street mimicking shooting. Now we're going to have little black kids shooting their parents and it's going to be cool. How long are we going to be stupid? Because that's just stupidity to me. That's the highest level of stupidity. It's time to change. Look at that mess. Break the banks. We'll be back on with this. We'll give y'all an update. Thank you for looking at the UEOA report. This is the news for us with our voices. You have a blessed day.